we got to talk about San Antonio.
Dude.
And what Victor Wembanyama is doing right now. The reigning Western Conference Player of the Week, through 3 games, had the kind of numbers that we've literally never seen before in the NBA. Averaged 33 points, 15 rebounds, or was it 15? 13 rebounds, and averaging 6 blocks per game. He is the first player in NBA history to score 100 points and block 15 shots in the first 3 games of the season. So he's already etching his name into the history books 3 years into his NBA career. He's freakish out there. That game against the Nets on Sunday, he had that sequence that went viral where he blocked Noah Clowney, he blocked Terrence Mann, he got the ball, took like 3 dribbles, pulled up just in front of the logo, and knocked down a 3. Like I put on Twitter, and it's definitely hyperbole, but he is his DNA is that of Bill Russell and Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of player he's looking like this early in the season. What's impressed you the most about Victor Wembanyama?
I mean, just that his development, as fast as we all thought it was going to be, is already ahead of schedule. Obviously, the muscle he put on has really shown in the way he is playing, right? He took a lot of more long-range shots. Everyone's throwing the numbers up. I don't know what the numbers are this morning after that game, but that, I think his percentage of shots has just kind of doubled in terms of going, close to the basket.
Inside the line, yeah.
Right. And that, like, he has just, he's got muscle in the lower half of his body that has allowed him to just attack. And, of course, that's going to be a huge strength. Yes, he can, hit a 3 from the logo, but I want to see him pushing his way in. When he's dunking on Zion Williamson, that gets my attention, right? Look, I have sat here with you for the last year and a half. I have sat at my gig at Fox Sports for the last 3 years saying this guy is going to be a top 10 player of all time. Before he was drafted, I said he is going to be a top 10 player of all time between the physical body he has, the skills he was brought up with, and the fact that his mindset and ethic was so clear, even from his time in France. I think after watching these first few games, did I undershoot it? Did I undercall it? Is he going to be a top 5 player of all time? He's already in the MVP conversation. It's his 3rd year in the league. What do you think?
Yeah, I hesitate to
be as grandiose as me?
Yes. I mean, I'm just so... I've watched every single one of these Spurs games. And by the way, more impressive, they've won all 3. Like, these aren't empty calorie statistics. They are helping his team win games. So he's producing on a winning team right now. I think you can certainly make the case that based on what we're seeing at the start of year 3, that a top 5 all-time player is not out of the realm of possibility. Because, when I talk to people in San Antonio, and I called a couple over the last few days, they tell me a few things. One, the offensive development has been really impressive, not just with the decision-making, playing inside the 3-point line, using force. Like you said, he's doing that Giannis stuff. He's dropping that shoulder, and he's ragdolling guys when he's in motion. You get him in motion now, and he is impossible to stop. The size, length, and now power, impossible to stop. But over the last couple of years, one defensive strategy that's been kind of effective has been playing a small on him. You could play like kind of this burly PJ Washington, PJ Tucker. Am I out of PJs? Like these kind of smaller guys that were more physical that could bump him out in the perimeter and force him into a low percentage shot. Yeah. He's adjusted. He's better in those situations. You mentioned the Pelicans game. The Pelicans, I think they started Sadiq Bey on him. I saw some sequences where he was on during that game. In the past, a player like Sadiq Bey might have caused some problems for Wembanyama, but he's so much more patient now in year 3 that he's biding his time, he's dissecting the defense, he's making the right play, and he's using his physical tools. He's not getting sped up, he's not getting rushed, he's just really patient in those types of situations. If you can't put a small on him, you can't put anybody on him. Like he's going to go right around your bigs, and if he's patiently overpowering your smalls, you're just in a lot of trouble on the offensive end of the floor. And defensively, like the shot blocking is ridiculous. 6 blocks per game. Good Lord.
I was looking up the team stats versus him.
Yeah.
If he was just his own team, he'd be 6th in the league in block shots.
Amazing. I mean,
just him.
He had Like
He's blocking more shots than 24 other teams in the league as a whole.
Incredible. And like Zion's a powerful guy.
Yeah.
He was getting his stuff swatted back left and right in that game. You see the blocks and the contest, right? He's like top 6 or 7 in contests as well, or average around 10 per game. But what I hear is, not just the stuff that you can statistically account for, but he has teams so afraid of his presence that they're not even putting up shots. Like, he would be by far and away the leader in contests if teams put up shots they would ordinarily put up. I mean, I was watching that Nets game. Like, Cam Thomas put up a couple of runners that were ceiling scrapers. Like, just the kind of putting the kind of arc on the shot that you never see in the NBA. That's because anything less than that is going to get sent back by Victor Wembanyama. So he's doing that. He's become a better team defender. And the other thing was intangibles. Like, you're seeing some of this in some of the clips, like in between the huddle. He's more vocal. He's talking. He's taking more of a leadership role with this team on the floor. But what I hear is it's the same in the locker room.
Right.
He is taking ownership of this team in his 3rd year in the NBA. That's a great sign for a young player.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's got a better team around him, right, than he's ever had with the Spurs. You and I sat here in these preseason podcasts talking about what the Spurs might do this season, and I kept saying, hey, Victor Wembanyama has expectations. Talking to people around him, talking to people on the Spurs, he does not see this coming season as another development year. He wants to make and expects to make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. I can definitely see them being in top 6 in the West if he keeps playing like this. Now, if he keeps playing like this is dependent on a couple things. First of all, he can't suffer a major injury. That is always a concern with anyone. I feel like everyone around the NBA just gets injured all the time now. We just talked about 2 huge stars who are injured. But also, is his stamina sort of playing this big a role on both ends of the court? Is that something that can keep up not only through an entire 82-game season, but then also making a playoff push? I don't know, man. He's young. I think when you're young, you can do this kind of thing. We talk about a rookie wall. It's not a rookie anymore. Mm-hmm. And so I really have super high expectations for this team. I'm excited. They're so fun to watch. It's fun to watch these young guards developing.
So let's talk about them for a second, especially Dylan Harper, the rookie point guard, who was as much a reason that they beat Brooklyn as anybody. Like, he took over in the second half of that game and was making plays for the Spurs. He is, like, what we saw in the preseason. He just looks so advanced for a guy his age and at his position, playing the most complicated position in the NBA. He has been able to step in and play right away. Stephen Castle, proven commodity as well. I thought it was notable. Mitch Johnson, who is, I wouldn't say is prone to hyperbole as a pop disciple. He said that Keldon Johnson, who's been a Spur for a long time now, is impacting winning more this season than he has at any point during his career. That speaks volumes for a guy that grew up under or came up under Pop and Mitch Johnson and has seen a lot of Keldon Johnson. So if you've got Harper and Castle playing at that level, if you're getting great play from Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell is putting up points.
Yep.
Still don't even have De'Aaron Fox back. Got to work him back into the mix. That's a playoff team. Like,
that's what I mean.
That's
They're not
even
a play-in team. They're a playoff
that's a full-on playoff
team.
Well, who's going to want to play them either? Like, who is going to want to touch that team with Victor Wembanyama all the way through year 3?
Right. And, look, we see guys who raise their level in the playoffs, right? We know that there are playoff performers. Steph Curry obviously is fantastic in the regular season, but he's exceptional in the playoffs. Tyrese Halliburton has raised his game in the playoffs. Jimmy Butler historically has raised his level in the playoffs. I can see Victor Wembanyama, as exceptional as he is throughout a season, being one of those guys who even, comes through in the playoffs even more. So I totally agree with you. It's interesting with Dylan Harper. For the 2-3 weeks before the draft, there was so much conversation about, will the Spurs make a play for Giannis? Mm-hmm. And will they use that number 2 pick to make a play for Giannis? And can you imagine Giannis and Victor next to each other and all of that? And they were pretty steadfast saying they weren't going to do it. And I think they had their eye on Harper. We obviously knew who was going to go first, so they knew who they had their pick of at second. And man, if you look at Victor and everything he can do now, I think it's a better play to have gone with a guard of the caliber that Dylan Harper seems to be turning into. And I also think it's an interesting meditation on, like, sons of NBA players, right? when a son of so-and-so comes into the league, you never really know what you're going to get. It partly depends on just genetically, did they get more of their mom or their dad? It also depends on the dad and how much they've been sort of a presence in terms of working out with their son and teaching him all the little NBA tricks, because that is a huge thing when you're a rookie. You don't know all the tricks. You don't know where guys grab you. You don't know where there's a little window where the refs won't see. You don't know all the little, things out of a timeout. Dylan Harper knows those things because Ron Harper obviously invested in teaching him those things. And then obviously it depends on the kid too. Does he want to be a sponge? What's his work ethic? Obviously, most NBA kids grow up so rich that they don't sometimes have the motivation that their fathers had. Dylan Harper seems to have it. And it's fun for me, just on the side, when one of those stories works out, because, from a feature perspective and as an NBA fan perspective, it's cool. I covered Ron Harper, and it's great to see the family doing so well.
It's also great to see Luke Cornett doing so well. I thought they might have overpaid for Cornett this offseason, although the deal wasn't quite what it was reported as. It's more of a 2-year deal with some non-guarantees. But he's been getting minutes alongside Wembanyama and been valuable as that kind of physical presence to playing alongside him.
Well, look, I always talk about Steph Curry as a multiplier, right? There's guys who aren't just great in themselves. They make everyone around them so much better because of the gravity of what they can do. Victor Wembanyama is obviously a multiplier. So you take guys like Luke Cornett, or you take guys like, look, if you stick Dylan Harper on another team, maybe doesn't have a first impressive few games. But Victor Wembanyama commands so much of the floor. It gives guys the opportunity to show what they can do with a little more breathing room. And I think you have to take that into account too. At what point do you think the De'Aaron Fox, is he going to get traded conversation starts happening?
It won't be till, if it happens, it wouldn't be till the offseason. Like, they're going to give this a go.
No, I understand.
And look, this, as you know, this is
I'm not saying from the Spurs. I mean from everyone else.
Yeah, but this is the year. This is the fun year for San Antonio.
I think so
let's
too.
get into the playoffs. If we can get to the second round, more power to us, but there's really no pressure on us. This is like Oklahoma City from a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
When they got in. It's the next year when all these guys are a year older that the pressure starts to pick up. But this team's looking like a real threat to do something in the playoffs, that's for sure. Even in a conference as good as the West.